Another mic is here, just let me
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So it's my great pleasure to welcome His Grace Damodar Prabhu to this program. We are very fortunate to have him here with us. First time I'm meeting Prabhu. It's about last minute arrangement. It's not known for this famous. So I'll give a introduction. Oh, you know. We should give you. His Grace Damodar Prabhu has been a devotee of Bhaktivedanta Vidyapati. Mayapur district, PhD, IBM, Govardhan, and Bhaktivedanta Raja.
Probably then you can speak to him.
Let me welcome him, then you can introduce him.
Sorry about it. So, arrangement was that we were people guaranteeing that we will introduce him. So, we are very fortunate to have you here with us. And hopefully within 2 years, we'll be welcoming a new temple. It's not very far from here, it's only about 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. The temple we're building. If you have a chance, if you have time, we can take you out one of these days for here and show you. So, as we say, आधी घड़ी आधुनिक दुनिया साधु संघ के साथ report से पूरा apart. A moment of social messenger person is what we need. Just to have simple reactions. So thank you Prabhu for being here, and thank you very much. I'd like to now ask Prabhu to introduce you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Damodar Prabhu has been a faculty at Bhaktivedanta Vidyapit, JV, Mayapur Institute, VIHE, IBM, Govardhan, and Bhaktivedanta Raja Vidyalaya, Pune, for teaching Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhaktivedanta, and teachers training courses. He has been serving in various leadership roles for more than 2 decades at ISKCON Chowpatty and Govardhan Eco Village. He is member of the global and national devotee care team and travels widely to conduct the devotee care seminars, courses, and initiative of ISKCON GBC. He also inspires and guides the teachers in the practical implementation of devotee care. He also conducts leadership training sessions at IL Leeds and GBC College, meant to train the next generation of leadership. He holds a BTech degree and MTech as well in mechanical engineering from IIT Mumbai. Under his guidance, the kitchen at ISKCON Chowpatty and Govardhan Eco Village is ISO 22000 certified. His kitchen team has been successfully organizing Mega Yatra Kitchen on wheels, feeding 10,000 devotees daily in annual Kartik Yatras and 50,000 pilgrims every day in Kumbh Melas. Jai. Damodar Prabhu ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri
कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशधारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So first of all, my gratitude to Devotee Prabhu for inviting me. We met at Juhu few months back. Yeah, he was very kind to invite me here and give me the opportunity of your association this evening. My gratitude to our host today, to be Janardhan Prabhu, his wife, Mother Kalam Devi, Kalamataji, and their children, Arvind and Raghav. So, my gratitude to the family for hosting us, all of us here. So, primarily I am traveling for devotee care training, to conduct devotee care training in different communities. So, I'll just today evening briefly speak about the spirit of devotee care. The spirit of devotee care. Though it's a very wide topic, I'll touch on some important aspects of it. Okay, so it said that there's a saying, I don't care how much you know, till I know how much you care. So, yes, actually, it's initially the knowledge may attract us, like we are attracted towards the philosophy, the knowledge, or the lovely kirtans. But what retains us within Krishna consciousness is actually the love and care. The love and care. So, we have that nice book by Prabhupada, PLC. PLC. What's the word? Can someone? Prabhupada wrote a book, PLC. What's that? Teaching the Lord Chaitanya. Called PLC. So, if you study PLC, you will see PLC is all about trust, love and care. Lord Chaitanya taught how to cultivate trust, love and care among the devotees. So therefore, care is at the very heart of devotion. So as I said, that I'll speak something about the spirit of care. Yes. So care, I see care as culture of appreciation. The A in care stands for appreciation. We express our care by appreciating others. I remember I met Mr. Peter Prabhu. He was like in 1960s. He played professional tennis, and then he became quite successful. He was quite well known at the point of time, way back in 1960s, early 1970s. And he started professional tennis coaching and all that. Very successful person. And he embraced Krishna consciousness and was deeply inspired by Prabhupada. Though not formally initiated, he actually took a lot of inspiration from Prabhupada. And he wrote a series of books called Life Enrichment Series. A series of books published by Peter Gawat International. So that was his. So PBI he formed, and he wrote for secular audience and inspired many secular people in the teachings of Prabhupada, but published on some as Life Enrichment Series. So he had deep value of appreciation. The person I witnessed how he carried and he lived by this principle of appreciation. So I went to meet him. He underwent bypass surgery in Bombay. And actually doctor prescribed him some diet, and I took something healthy for him. I like to cook for devotees. So I took something healthy for him, and I went to the hospital. And I was serving him so on and so forth. So when I went, I saw there was one maid. She cleansed Prabhu's room in the hospital. And he actually thanked her from the bottom of his heart. The way he thanked, in such a heartfelt way, oh, thank you so much for making this room so sparkling clean. Like really feeling he thanked her. And this lady broke over there. and then she said, I'm in this hospital working in the Gobi cooking for the last 25 years. No one has ever thanked me like you. No one felt the need probably. So she said, no one has ever thanked me like you. She broke. I saw that. And the power of appreciation touched her heart. And it made her feel that I'm doing something worthwhile. I'm doing something worthwhile. Many times people lose the purpose of the living. Often in this world. You don't know, are they making difference to someone and so on and so forth. It happened that time. So therefore she felt very touched. So I witnessed that, and of course, again, I served him. I had something, baked pumpkin with some olive oil and some other Italian spicing I did. And he liked it. And I don't know how much he liked it, he appreciated it a lot. So because I saw, he had greater appreciation than the actual value of the thing. Then I later, read in Bhagavatam, where Lord Brahma and Daksha, he said, you are criticizing a person, Lord Shiva, who see a small good and magnify it. The nature of Lord Shiva, like a Vaishnava now Nihashambhu, what is his nature? To see a small good and magnify it. So I saw that quality in Peter Gawat. He has taken from the Master Prabhupada, who would know how to fan a small spark. So the appreciation is like to fan a small spark and it blazes into a fire. So that's a very core Vaishnava quality of appreciation, genuine appreciation, not flattery. And what's the difference between appreciation and flattery? Someone? What's the difference between appreciation and flattery?
Artificial appreciation is flattery.
Okay, artificial appreciation is flattery. Good. Something else?
Lip service.
Lip service, flattery, lip service. Fine.
To gain something different.
Flattery is to gain something. Appreciate is to encourage somebody genuinely. So the flattery is the selfish purpose. The selfish purpose. To gain someone, exploit something, get something done, and so on. The appreciation is for that person's good benefit. which born from the heart, genuine appreciation. So the genuine appreciation is very encouraging. Not just encouraging, it is very empowering also. It is very empowering also. Now, a beautiful incident from Chaitanya's example. Lord Chaitanya would, if you see, every year the devotee would come from Bengal and they would spend 4 months Chaturmasya in Jagannath Puri with Lord Chaitanya. And every time Lord Chaitanya would see them off, farewell, he would appreciate all the devotees. He would appreciate all the devotees. We can read several times. Very, very heartfelt. And the devotee would, they would want to leave, but they were unable to leave. So, and he would bind them with affection. In one such appreciation, he would often glorify different devotees. And in one such, at one time, Lord Chaitanya glorified Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was an impersonalist, he was not a devotee. He was an impersonalist. But Lord Chaitanya Association transformed him to become a devotee. And he became a very staunch devotee. So Lord Chaitanya says, I have learned that devotional service is the perfection of all the yoga system. And I have learned how to be a staunch devotee from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. How to become a staunch devotee of Krishna. From Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, his actually heart melted. Because it's Lord Chaitanya who actually made him into a devotee. And Lord Chaitanya saying, I take inspiration from him. Seeing his devotional service. So the way Lord Chaitanya appreciated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, my Lord, you are expert in making Garudas out of crows. So therefore that means you can empower the crow to become a Garuda by your appreciation. So in this way, the genuine appreciation could be very encouraging, empowering. So that's important aspect of care. We'd like to share one small case study. A couple came to mentor. We have a mentorship system, and especially the wife expressed. She said, we had a festival at our home, and I cooked for 4 hours, and then my husband gulped down, all the feast that I cooked, and didn't speak one word of appreciation. So the mentor actually called the husband and he kind of talked to him and said, we realize that your wife works very hard, times in the kitchen, and last time there was a festival at home and she cooked nice feast, worked very hard. Do you appreciate her? She said, oh yes, I'm quite appreciative of her. And therefore, I nicely, ate on all the feast. But did you express that? Oh no, she should know it. She should know that I am appreciated. No, she's not Paramatma in your heart. So therefore, that's not how the things work. Sometimes we assume that I don't have to express it. So in a relationship, in any relationship, the expression of appreciation is important. That many times we may appreciate from the heart, but we may not think that it's important to also express an appreciation. So rather, we should be more generous. We should try to be more generous in the expression of our appreciation. It's important. It makes a difference. Another incident, I was traveling in Indigo flights in India, and suddenly the captain made announcements. Usually the captain would announce we are flying at 25,000 feet altitude and outside temperature is such and such, and we will be landing in next 40 minutes or so on. Regular announcement. But this time the captain said, I have an important announcement to make. And he drew everyone's attention. And if captains have some important announcement, it could be scary also. So everyone, immediately paid attention, stopped all the other works. And then he said, Diana, our leading cabin crew member is leaving Indigo. Today is her last working day, and this is her last flight. Please. She has given her 7 priceless years to Indigo, and we are extremely grateful to her. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in wishing her good luck for all her future endeavors. And the whole flight, everyone clapped. And when I looked towards this cabin crew member, Diana, and how she responds to this, and I saw that her eyes became moist. And then I was reflecting that the captain, he announced it publicly to all the flight members that she has served and given her 7 priceless years. And I was thinking, and actually, she has done a job. She did a job. It's not that it was not like a selfless service. But of course, she put her heart in that service. So if the people outside there are appreciative of those who have worked with them, if it's in a job contract or something, worked with them, how much more we have to be appreciative of those devotees who are doing selfless service, who give their heart to Prabhupada, heart to Krishna. How much more we have to be appreciative of them. If in the world outside they can be appreciative of their employees when they have a service contract with, while the devotees, they actually put their heart and soul in the service. So in this way, it's important that we learn this important virtue of devotee care through the appreciation. And second important aspect of devotee care is respect. Respect. So Vedic culture is a culture of respect. Vedic culture is a culture of respect. I remember there was one person, he was kind of criticizing those who, some Western devotees for not having the proper understanding of Vedic culture. Sometimes like Suchi, Muchi, those there are some details and they don't understand and they don't practice. At times those who are in the Western world. So he was criticizing, they don't know the difference between this and this, they don't know this, only certain details of. And so this is Vedic culture. This is in Vedic culture we don't do things like this. We don't just take the glass and touch it to the mouth and then not wash hands and so on and so forth. We don't touch the thing with the left hand, etc. Those kind of things. So this is not Vedic culture. And he was like criticizing those who are not able to, who do not understand, who do not follow, he was criticizing. Then I saw there was another senior devotee, and he was again and again saying, this is not Vedic culture. And he was speaking in a disrespectful way. So this, another senior devotee said, what I understand from Vedic culture is, Vedic culture is a culture of respect. And it is true, that's very much true, because disrespect leads to disaster. Vedic culture is a culture of respect, and disrespect leads to disaster. So 2 great wars, Ramayana and Mahabharata. So the entire dynasty of Ravana was destroyed because of disrespect to Sita. And the entire Kuru dynasty was destroyed because of disrespect to Draupadi. So Vedic culture is a culture of respect. Grahe Shatrum api praptum vishwastam akuto bhayam. That even an enemy comes to your home, he should feel welcome. That's Vedic culture, a culture of respect. You see that? So in this way, once His Holiness Devotee Swami Maharaj, he asked Prabhupada. So Giriraj Maharaj is sharing one of his interaction with Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have noticed that when you talk about the scientist, you use the word nonsense, bluffer, cheater, rascal. And you also sometimes say that I'll kick them in the face with my boots. So can we use such language while we preach or meet the scientists? Can we use such language? Prabhu said, no, you should speak like a gentleman, especially in the dealings. So we understand here something very important. Actually, though Prabhupada used such words, he was not personally disrespecting them. He was only criticizing their philosophy. As the term goes, hate the sin, not the sinner. So he was only criticizing their different philosophy, but he was never disrespectful to anyone. So this is proved by another incident when Prabhupada was staying with Dr. Mishra, who was a Mayavadi, my personalist. Dr. Mishra kind of fell sick, so he was hosting Prabhupada, and he fell sick. Prabhupada cooked for Dr. Mishra. He nursed him back to good health. He was always very cordial in dealing and very respectful. So though Prabhupada criticized the Mayavad philosophy, he was very cordial in his personal dealing. To the extent that he cooked for a Mayavadi and nursed him to good health. Just imagine. So therefore, Prabhupada was never disrespectful. So the Vedic culture is a culture of respect. Okay, so now, I met, again, as I said, Peter was Prabhu. He was a very gentlemanly person. So he shared, he said, oh, I'll be celebrating my 40th wedding anniversary. I said, wow, is that your first wife? He said, yes. Yeah, with my first wife, I'm celebrating 40th wedding anniversary. I said, oh, that's amazing. This is very rare to find a couple who have stayed that long in the US especially and the Western, both of them are Western body. It's as rare as to find a pure devotee. And someone like that. So I said, it's very rare. Please share how has your relationship lasted for such a long time. And the family has stayed together. The children, husband, wife, they stayed together. And then he shared, he said, me and my wife, we made a mutual agreement with each other, mutual commitment, that though we may disagree sometimes, we may dislike the way we do things, we may strongly disagree, but we will not disrespect. How? In practical terms, we will not yell at each other. In America they call it yelling. The sign of disrespect. When you shout out, when you speak harsh words, that's disrespectful. I recently met a devotee, Vaishnavi. Her son got recently married and her son spoke in a disrespectful way to mother in front of her daughter-in-law. She was so hurt, she was expressing. So therefore, we may disagree, we may dislike the way people do things at times, but there's no right to be disrespectful. If they made a mutual commitment, we may strongly disagree and dislike, but we will not disrespect by yelling or speaking harsh, cruel words. We have to, in a respectful way, sort it out. And if we do that, so now someone may have made a mistake or something, but if we breach or break this agreement, that's a bigger fault. And we have to agree that that's my mistake now. So whatever has been the other person's mistake, the greater mistake is to breach this agreement. Okay, so then they said, okay, we have to follow this. We have to help each other, remind each other, again commit to follow this mutual commitment that we will not be disrespectful to each other in our relationship. And he said that's the key reason that our relationship has lasted. Therefore, it's important in any relationship that we learn how to be respectful. So in this way, we're discussing about some of the core principles of care. We discussed about the appreciation and secondly about the respect. And the third important principle is that of empathy. What do you mean by empathy? Can someone define empathy? What do you mean by empathy?
Staying in other person's
Wait a minute, who's speaking?
given situation of circumstance, like putting ourselves into their
Okay, like we're putting ourselves there situation or their shoes
Yes.
and trying to understand the situation. Trying to understand the situation? Okay, good. Something else? Yes?
To hear the person.
Yeah.
To hear the person non-judgmentally.
Okay, good. To be able to hear them without any judgments. That's good. Yeah. Something else?
Real sense of care for them.
Real sense of care. That's what we are discussing. That empathy is about care. What empathy is in practice. What empathy is we're trying to define. You got two good answers. That's good. So basically, empathy is yes. We all understand sympathy. Sympathy means, oh, I understand your pain and sympathize with you. But empathy is a bit deeper. It is, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Paradukh dukhi. Empathy is paradukh dukhi.
Experiencing the same.
Yeah, experiencing the pain of someone. Not just understanding it theoretically, but trying to feel the pain of others. Just to give an example, Prabhupada was driving him in Chennai, and Prabhupada saw that there was a huge queue on a bus stop. And then in the small bus stop, under the shade there were 5-7 people, but more than 50 people or so, they were in the hot sun outside. It was summer month. And when Prabhu was driving by, he saw the people were in the hot sun standing without a shade. A tear came to his eye. How people are suffering. Then he saw there were children who were fighting with each other for food. And Prabhu said, we should have food for life. No one should go hungry 10 kilometers around our temple. We started food for life. Empathy, feeling the pain of others. That's empathy. So, yes. Now this quality, we may not, have natural empathy in our heart as such, but what we can learn is an empathic response. So now I would like to share one story with you about empathic response. That how when people are emotionally disturbed, when someone is feeling the agony in the heart, pain in the heart, instead of giving them some advice or solution, if you can empathize, it's much more caring for them. So this is an important aspect of devotee care, empathy. So there's a story in Chaitanya Charitamrita that bring this over here, right in front of this one is this time, this phone. Just put it here. Just see that it's captured. A little bit more. Yeah, okay, this good. That's good. Yeah, okay, this good. Yes. Fine. I'm able to see the people who are right here. Others also be able to hear those who have joined online. So, yes, empathy. So, there is a story of how who was Lord Chaitanya's Yatra manager? As I said, all the devotees would come from Bengal to Jagannath Puri every year. A group of few hundred of them. Who was the Yatra manager? If you know, raise your hand. And if you read or heard about pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, who was the Yatra manager? Vijay Gopikesh will be raising hand, but I'm seeing if someone else can guess. Who was the Yatra manager for Lord Chaitanya? Yes, oh, good. Shivanand Singh. So this is Lord Chaitanya's devotee who would bring all the devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and it was a walking yatra for at least 20 days. So you have to arrange their accommodation, prasadam at different places, and they're all walking, right? And there are no mobile phones to call ahead and all those things. So in those days, he managed things for them. And it's described that he would maintain the devotee at his own expense. He would provide for the devotee. there was no registration fee for the yatra. There was Shivanand Sen. There was Shivanand Sen actually had Lord Chaitanya's lot of mercy because of his selfless service to the devotees. Because he actually maintained all the devotees, like a father takes care, he would take care of all the devotees and do not charge anything. Shivanand Sen. So one particular day, Shivanand Sen, he got stuck with negotiating with the toll tax. They would, you carry some area and there are toll tax. These toll booths have been existing even since Lord Krishna's time. They were mentioned of at different places, ghatis, and they would set up a toll booth, etc., etc. So there were this toll tax, and then it would be negotiable. He was in a group, and sometimes they would ask, you have to pay this much and so on. Shivanand Sen had to negotiate that we are traveling on a pilgrimage in a group and so on, and then they would ask a lot, seeing a group, kind of. So things are not always like black and white. A lot of all those things were there. So he negotiated and he got delayed in providing accommodation and prasadam. He got stuck. So Nityanand Prabhu, he became very angry. He was in the group. Nityanand Prabhu became very angry and he kicked Shivanand Sen on his chest, saying that, I'm dying out of hunger and you haven't provided any prasadam, accommodation, so on and so forth. So, of course, Shivanand Sen understood that this is Nityanand Prabhu's inconceivable mercy. Inconceivable mercy. So he understood. He understood the situation, and he actually appreciated. He said, "My Lord, today I have received the dust of the lotus feet which my Lord Brahma aspires." So, like he had a spiritual vision to appreciate. It's not easy actually, not easy, but he appreciated somehow. But his nephew Shrikanta, he said, this is not acceptable. This is too much of Nityanand Prabhu is bossing over. My uncle, my mama, who is also a great associate of Lord Chaitanya. He is known as, he is also a Parshad. My mama is also, my uncle is also a Parshad of Lord Chaitanya, an intimate associate. Nityanand Prabhu can't just boss over my uncle like that. My uncle is humble, so it's not appropriate. He left the group, he lodged a complaint to Lord Chaitanya. They are going towards Jagannath Puri, they are midway. He left the group and went fast, tell that what Nityanand Prabhu, how unfairly has Nityanand Prabhu acted. So he was in a disturbed state of mind. So when he came, he offered his obeisances and he was not following certain etiquettes. He didn't follow certain etiquettes for which Govinda reminded him. Govinda, Lord Chaitanya's servant, he said, Shrikant, have you forgotten the etiquettes of showing respect to the Lord? And Lord Chaitanya said, Govinda, don't instruct him. Let him do whatever makes him happy. He's in a disturbed state of mind. As soon as he heard that, Lord Chaitanya's affectionate word, they don't instruct him. Let him do whatever makes him happy. So that empathic response of Lord Chaitanya, it just, all the agony of his heart disappeared. His heart became light. That Lord Chaitanya understands the situation. He knows my heart. He knows what has happened. I don't have to complain to him, and so on and so forth. So his heart settled down. So what happens is, when people are disturbed, or when they do something mistake, they are in a disturbed state of mind, we often tend to instruct them at that point of time. Instruct them or advise them. So when people are disturbed, in mind already disturbed, and when we advise or instruct them, that just goes against the empathy. This goes against the empathy. So often devotees make a mistake of advising or instructing when affection is needed. So what is the empathic response? Oh, you seem to be so disturbed. I feel so sorry. So that is empathic response. So if someone, if you see that someone is having pain in the heart, someone is disturbed, if you can just listen out to that person, as Mother said, you could listen out to them non-judgmental way, try to understand them from their perspective, not from our perspective. Someone say, you're getting too emotional. Come on, don't be silly. You know, all these things keep happening. People may say this and that, in office this may happen, it's part of life, and so on and so forth. So we advise, we analyze the situation, but we fail to empathize. When people are disturbed, if you can just say, oh, I feel so sorry that today your feelings were hurt, or you have been misunderstood, and so on and so forth, you have been just, I feel so sorry for that. That dissipates, all the steam. That releases all the steam that is trapped in the heart. So that is empathy. And later we could, advise them if required and so on and so forth. So just to be able to understand a person and empathize with them is a very, very important aspect of care. Very, very important aspect of care. So therefore, what we discussed today, that devotee care is very, very broad, very deep topic. It is one of the top priority of ISKCON at the GBC level. In the midterm GBC meetings in Italy, it has come out to be the top priority. And we as all the leaders should focus more on devotee care. Also, this year is the 60th year of ISKCON, 60th year celebrating. ISKCON was registered in 1966, this 2026. So 2016 we celebrated 50th year and this is 60th year. Next year we will be celebrating 50th year of Prabhupada disappearance. So there is a committee formed by the GBC, approved by the GBC. It's called 6050. There is a committee is called 6050. So this year is 60th year of ISKCON, next year is 50th year of Prabhupada disappearance. So ISKCON 6050, they are trying to again connect devotees more with Prabhupada and appreciate, express gratitude, and they have said one way we can follow Prabhupada's instruction. Prabhupada said, you will show your love for me by how you cooperate. He said, we should more and more encourage devotee care. Prabhupada will be very pleased because cooperation is another important aspect of devotee care. So therefore, ISKCON 6050, also they reached out to me, we had some discussion on practical level, we can have some measurable goals for next 2 years in terms of devotee care, what can we do, so on and so forth. So this is, devotee care is one of the top priority of ISKCON leaders at present. And yes, I've been traveling worldwide to different communities to conduct devotee care training, which is a very comprehensive 20 hours of training. So GBC certified course, devotee care course, leadership training course. And Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu had hosted the course in 2020, way back in 2020. So now again there is a lot of, we are traveling to conduct that same course with even evolved. For last 6 years since we have been traveling, the course has even evolved. So this is to give an idea of the devotee care in ISKCON. But today evening what we just discussed very briefly, the spirit of devotee care, 3 important aspects. That devotee care is culture of appreciation, respect and empathy. So the word care, you can see it as acronym, CARE, culture of appreciation, respect and empathy. So some of the important aspects I shared with you this evening. And once again, my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being here and giving this opportunity. Special gratitude to Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu and our hosts today. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Bhaktiman. If some of you would like to share something, ask something, reflect on something, yes please.
Ask a question or reflect on something. My question is...
do you have a mic? Probably that, is that working?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
One is share something,
Okay, yes.
and then one is a question.
Okay.
The question first. Appreciation and glorification. What's the difference?
Well, glorification is primarily, we say, it's term we use for superiors, that we glorify the Lord. That we don't just appreciate. In general, the word term we use for the Lord is we broadcast the glories of the Lord, discuss the glories of the Lord. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories. So the glory term is used for the Supreme Lord, Guru Varga, as such. But appreciation is amongst the devotee communities.
But we also appreciate the devotees.
Yes.
For example, so Krishna Bhakti ki jai.
Yes.
Krishna Bhakti ki jai.
Yes.
So it's also some form of appreciation.
Yeah. Yes. So there would be some overlap here. That sometimes we may use the word glory, but in general. So the glory word is for Supreme Lord and the superior amongst Guru Varga. So even amongst us, there would be some who are superior to us in their devotion, and we may glorify them. We use that term. And appreciate. We can appreciate even a person who has just come to Krishna Consciousness. Oh, you chant 1 round daily. Wow, great. Right? So like that. So and that encourages them to go ahead. Okay, yes. You want to share something?
Thank you. Before I share, just one more question.
Okay.
I really appreciate someone that we just studying how to do devotee care. But don't you think that something is built in your culture, like to really appreciate someone from the heart? That is comes with time. So I'm thinking that like the way we are brought up from the very early days, our culture, the how people, our father taught us how to appreciate what we have. We had cows, I think, from farming community in Fiji, we had cows. In the cows, we appreciate the cows, giving us milk, we do go puja, and other people around us appreciate, if you've been here to share with us. It's sort of built in us, but somebody born in a rich family, I find hard to appreciate. Right? I'm finding my children like that. They haven't seen this hard life. I've seen that they're born here. And so how we train them?
Yeah, see, with the upbringing we gain certain value system, actually, with the upbringing. And therefore, like the cultural training, how we have been trained from the childhood, our upbringing does affect. So, but by discussing the importance of certain values and trying to practice, we can gain them. So maybe from our upbringing we have not gained certain values, that is possible, or we have gained, that's one. If we have gained certain important values, that is very good. But if we have not gained, for whatever reason, we can still gain. Because Krishna consciousness is, as I said, by understanding the importance and by practicing it. Just like the child doesn't have the value of gratitude. But the parents tell the child, repeatedly remind, say thank you. Like today I gave some prasadam to Janki. I gave some prasadam to her. And immediately the parents said, say thank you first before reading the reminders. So in this way what happens? By practicing gradually we imbibe the value of gratitude. So we are made to practice. Therefore, it's a conscious practice. Sadhana is about conscious practice. We understand the importance of something and we practice it. And then we gradually imbibe it as a value. Basically. Therefore, we want the devotees in ISKCON to understand the importance of the value of devotee care, appreciation, respect, empathy, and there are many more things to it. And then practice it. Understand the importance, practice it. By practicing, we will imbibe it. And of course, by practicing devotional service also, so it gets the Nisyasti Bhaktir Bhagavate Kinchana Sarvair Guna Tattva Samasate Surava. Devotees, as we go on practicing chanting Hare Krishna, serving the Lord, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, gradually the heart becomes pure, the natural Vaishnava qualities. They are all Vaishnava qualities. They also are imbibed. So the process of bhakti works two ways. In, out, out, in. By practicing bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna, the heart inside is getting purified, and therefore we develop Vaishnava qualities in, out. Directly by practicing bhakti, the Vaishnava qualities develop. That is in, out. But by practicing, like Prabhupada would say, even if you don't feel enthusiastic, act enthusiastically. And he would encourage. If you don't feel like dancing, dance and then you will feel ecstatic. So that is out in. We act and imbibe the quality. When in bhakti, the heart is purified, naturally those qualities unfold. So it works both ways. So therefore, both are important. Hare Krishna.
I was listening to this Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, and because he also travels like you across the globe, there is mostly the misunderstandings are always between the devotees as compared to outside world.
Yes.
It's been observed. So then he thought that I should bring them together on the table and talk to them. So one devotee said to the other one, are you angry with me? The other one said, no, I'm not angry with you. Anger is a very expensive emotion. I don't want to spend it on you.
Okay.
So normally, when a person is trying to do, an act of devotee care,
Okay.
that time, what should we bring it on table? Like we can normally do is you talk about 5 good things about him, you also talk 5 good things about him, and then meditate upon them rather than talking about whatever has done. It's a past. Let's go.
You're talking of conflict resolution now?
Yes.
Okay, it's a specific context. See, what I talked is appreciation in general. Appreciation in general. We, around us, in a family, in any relationship, when we see something good, we can be more generous in the expression of our appreciation, and then we will feel greater appreciation ourselves. If we can be more generous in the expression. I am talking of a generic scenario. You have taken a scenario of a conflict between the devotee, and then you tell them you appreciate him, it will not work like that. And they already have a lot of steam in the heart and negativity of the heart. The conflict resolution, mediation is a separate skill. I didn't touch upon that skill. There are certain skills required to be trained, and those people who are trained in, there is a separate vertical in ISKCON, conflict resolution and mediation, in a separate vertical. So they have to professionally handle. It can't be just to bring them on the table and say 5 good qualities. It won't work like that. So it has to.
I was talking in terms of the appreciation that he.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's already is already there are a lot of misunderstandings over there. There's a lot of huge load of wrong perceptions and negativities, and then you say you appreciate. It won't work like that. There has to be a proper mediation by a professional person who is trained. And it's a skill. So devotee care is very broad. One is it requires several skills. One of the skill is training in mediation and conflict resolution.
So human psychology will come to
Yeah, human psychology, again, at times mentoring or addressing psychological issues, Our devotees may not be trained in that. We need some expert professionals to handle such cases.
So that means the devotee care model that we talk about. So it also requires those professional qualification and something like that.
Devotee care,
Or we can-
we don't prescribe any model. Understand the principles of devotee care and work out a local model. How is going to happen? What's the need in the community? How much the community is ridden with conflict, so we need to train some people. So Vraj Bihari Prabhu, the disciple of his Gurujan Prabhu, he is heading the conflict resolution and mediation vertical. Like 25 years back when he joined, something like long back, when he was asked to join GBC 1980s, not 80s or probably 90s somewhere, he was asked to join the GBC. And he said, the whole energy of GBC is going in conflicts, and they're unresolved. He said, he said, I feel these conflicts need to be resolved. Do you agree? He said, yes. He said, please sanction me $50. I can buy 2 books on conflict resolution, study them, and mediate. I learn and mediate. And that's how it started. He understood there's a need to resolve conflict, and I need to understand how to do it. So he bought the 2 books, studied them, and started practicing and mediating. He did his graduation, he did his master's in conflict resolution, and to the extent now he's a conflict resolution consultant to NASA. And there is a conflict at every level. The NASA scientist, right? So he is a consultant to the conflict resolution. They call him when there is a serious conflict between their top scientists and so on and so forth. So therefore, it is to be handled professionally. So we may train some devotees in our community, but if we have, if that's possible, it may not be immediately possible. So devotee care initiative is, then find out those who are trained in some other communities or some other professionals who understand devotional lifestyle to some extent. At times, easy to have a professional and kind of explain to him what the life of devotee is, and that person can professionally help. So like that. So
I know it very good, but is there any board or something that where we can reach out to and then ask for that in terms of?
there is a conflict resolution ministry, kind of the whole vertical is there, mediation and conflict resolution. You see on the GBC website, you will find those details. Yes, and then they do conduct certain trainings also. They train local people in your community, because how much they can cater to. So they may mediate in some bigger conflicts, but there are conflicts at every level, different levels. So we need to have certain trained people or trained professionals in the community who can properly address on time before the conflicts become too much and such a lot of energy. On time addressing them properly is important.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji. Mataji is a host, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Very, we feel like hearing again and again and again. So hopefully, we can attend other programs. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So much wonderful information you have given us, guide in order for us to, as a small yatra, we are just starting. So we need lots of guidance, and probably we'll come back to you again and again for more guidance. So Prabhu, my question here is how, if you can just enlighten us with some of the points, or what was the vision of Srila Prabhupada as regards to devotee care for his own yatras?
What is the vision of Prabhupada for devotee care? Okay, I'll read some visionary statement of Prabhupada in terms of devotee care. Just give me yes. So Prabhupada says in his purport 7.5.12. This is important vision. Prabhupada says everyone should be friendly for the service of the Lord. Everyone should praise another service to the Lord. Again, the appreciation has come here. not be proud of his own service, that is humility. This is the way of Vaishnava thinking, Vaikuntha thinking. Okay, so that means this devotee care is a culture of the spiritual world. It's a Vaikuntha culture. Vaikuntha culture. So when we are friendly with other devotees for the service of the Lord, and we appreciate their service and not be, proud of our own service, it's living in Vaikuntha. So this is one vision of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's vision is very profound. We'll share this one aspect of it. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hare
Another
Krishna.
pranam to you, Prabhu. I have a couple of questions, Prabhu.
You can ask one and then Mataji can answer
Yes,
another.
sure. First question is, how to react to appreciation?
How to
Someone
react?
React, yeah.
We should not react, we should respond.
Okay. How do we respond? Maybe that's my question.
Okay, that's good. So basically, we should, whenever someone appreciates us, we can first of all express our gratitude for their kind words. You've been kind to me. You can see some good in a person with many faults also. So we see that this is if you can see something good in me, that is your good. It's said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, one who sees faults of the devotee, that person is faulty. Similarly, one who sees good of other, that shows the greater good in that person. Therefore, if someone is having that quality, we appreciate that actually it is your good. That is, if you can see something good in me, it shows, it proves your good. That is one thing. And secondly, yes, since and if there is some good in me, if at all, that is all due to the mercy of my spiritual master, mercy of the Vaishnavas, the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. Only by their mercy, there is some small good which you can see and magnify it, and so like that. So the devotee passes on the credit. It's not mine, good, belong to them, and the person who sees it is that person's good, basically. So this is how we can, we can respond.
Thank you, Prabhu. I will ask the next question after.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your question. It's a really nice, thoughtful question. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandar Pranam. Very, very insightful class on devotee care. As a small yatra, we have started some basic grassroots level help for families in terms of devotee care, which is when they're in hospital or when they're sick and if there's any issues that they have. But my question was, is there something further we can do in terms of getting an online training from someone like yourself or whoever can give us in terms of a budding yatra, how to enhance the care not just for support and help, but actually enrich each and every member or the team leads to practice it on a more advanced level and obviously have it. So it's like, I know you've given a beautiful lecture today, but how do we practically use it for our yatra?
You already said you are using it practically
In a very
and it is a good initiative. Someone is sick, someone is needs some kind of support and help. As a community, we should try to provide that. That's really good. So basically, each community at different stage, community members will need a different kind of care. And we understand the need and try to either provide or support that in some way or other. Like the teenagers needing counseling, professionals from a psychologist or psychotherapist, teenagers needing. it was unheard of when I was studying in my school. Never heard that anyone going to psychology and a psychotherapist for help. In the teenage years, in the school days, never heard. Absolutely unimaginable. But then I heard recently that in Canada, which is one of the welfare countries, where you apply and you get, that is, government provides that help, like without charge. A welfare country, the medical care is free. It's not actually free, but they charge in form of tax, but they provide for their citizens. So, for teenagers, just post-COVID or during COVID, there was a more than 1 year of waiting queue that if you apply today for the psychotherapist appointment, you have to wait for more than 1 year in queue, and then you are allotted. 1 year, what do you do? You go mad, crazy. So what I'm describing is that how to see the context, the changing context of care in different communities, different cultures, different places. So there will be different context of care, what kind of care and there are different recipients of care. Different recipients of care. So all that we need to understand and help provide and support and continuously train ourselves. And in all the professionals, like I asked somebody said, I am a trained psychologist, but every year I need to invest some 80 hours or 100 hours, I don't know how many hours in a year on ongoing continuous professional development. There is CPD, continuous professional development. So as devotees also, we need to understand and always be understanding this topic, in a better and better way, because it is ongoing. The world is changing fast. So we need to keep up with that. So yes, there are trainings available, and usually what we do is we first conduct a training for the core members, which is a workshop. The workshop is not conducted effectively online. We have seen, we tried it and it was not effective. We didn't get any positive feedback. So this devotee care comprehensive training for the core leaders is a workshop, and when need to be conducted once, at least for a key member, and they can continue to conduct ongoing the members. Once they understand, they can conduct the basic training and on ongoing basis. So just like I was in Adelaide and I'm the president there, Prabhu now, he's also very pro-devotee care leader. And those who attended, he said we are going to develop based on the 20 hours training that I conducted. We are developing 2 sessions of 2 hours, which will be compliance. Anyone who wants to be initiated in the community, they have to undergo IDC, is called disciple course, and devotee care training for 4 hours. They have to understand that how to live in a community as a caring member. So these trainings, are important, and we continue to conduct. And and when there is a team, we encourage that within the community there is a core team of devotee care team we call, and they can be in touch with us, right? And we will proactively be conducting certain training for those who are leading the devotee care, and when they need to consult us on something, then we can be available, but only to the core team of the particular yatra. So that's the model we are working. This is devotee care is quite a recent initiative, so we are also developing it and evolving it and encouraging everyone, to be a part of it in their own capacity.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, sure, yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Prabhu.
Thank you so much for this very simple and I would say heart-touching devotee care. The way you give the presentation, your care comes out in that. You are not just lecturing, but you are actually sharing the care. And you are coming here and giving us this seminar or presentation is expression of your care for all of us devotees. Really grateful for that. I want to say two things. First of all, Sachinandan Prabhu, he is practically senior most devotee in our yatra.
Yeah.
Been with this cause since 1978. Honest. Very long service to Srila Prabhupada. I can talk more about him. But to the point is, he's heading up the devotee care and devotee support team. And he's assisted by Radhashmi Mataji there, and so the in-reach. So taking care of in-reach.
Yeah,
outreach for preaching, in-reach for retaining devotees.
Yes.
Outreach for bringing devotees in.
Yes.
And we also have child protection officer. And Radha Mataji is the women's representative, looking after women. And we have another senior devotee also, very elderly, Harinam Prabhu, who is conflict resolution. Looks after conflict. Very experienced devotee. We're going to get trained. They're going to get trained up soon. Ramesh Swami is already telling these devotees should get formal trainings. Whatever they are informally can be done formally. That's on the cards.
Yeah, in GBC college, there's several training program, which conflict resolution training is also there. And GBC college, devotee care training is also been included.
Also included.
So therefore.
So Raj Bihari in fact wrote to me last month.
Yes.
And is already in touch with me, so that all of Australia, the leaders get trained up, especially. So these efforts are going on, and they're doing tremendous service. As Radhashmi said, they go and help devotees when they're sick, when they have problems in the family. And where we can't help, we reach out to professional help. We don't pretend to be, look, I'm so great, I can do. No. Where we want, we do a certain level, and then we go for the professional help. So that's going on. So just wanted to update you on that. So that's we are in the, as Radhashmi said, we are in the early stages. And many devotees are doing it without, our Bhakti leaders are doing by default, like Ratisha who asked the question, he and his wife, they look after their Bhakti. Amulya Prabhu looks after the Hornsby area. Pranashya Prabhu, he looks after his area in West Ride. Like that we have devotees in different, Bhakti leaders are default devotee carers. We want them trained in devotee care. Because they have dependents on them, devotees depending on them. So that is what we are at the early stage. Radhashmi, we are at early stage, Yatra is very young. But you see, the good thing about this is, even though we are very basic in our approach, not very professional, not very still very raw, learning. But you see, the community has grown from 0 to 4,000 in just 3 years. Now there are more than 4,000 families.
Wow.
So, and it's happened organically. We didn't aggressively go and do some marketing or something. Word of mouth. And we're trying our best not to let devotees go. We don't want a revolving door, right? People coming this side and getting upset and going. So in that connection, because of lack of time, I want to ask one question. See, appreciation, as you mentioned, has been personally very dear to my heart. The reason being, my Guru Maharaj, Jabatak Maharaj, he very long back, maybe 30 years ago, he said, Kirtanya Sada Hari means glorifying devotees. Kirtan is Kirtan, literally, but Kirtan also is to glorify. So you should always appreciate devotees, whatever good or bad. Now what I found problem in that, surprisingly, was that sometimes devotees become very puffed up. And then, even if for a small correction, with a lot of care, folded hands, with some good qualities first, and then, okay, this is a little area I need to, disturbing the devotees by what you're doing, kindly stop, like that, not harshly at all. And then again, concluding with some good qualities, taking all due care. But then they get upset and then they say, no, I'll leave the yatra, I'm quitting, I don't want to be part of this yatra, because you offered some correction, and I don't want correction. Because they're so used to being praised all the time. And then they kind of expect that to be there. Every time a red carpet will be there and garlands will be offered. So how do you handle this? You don't want to be Dhritarashtra and blind to the faults, At the same time, you don't want to be fault finding just for ego, And you have to balance the two. So maybe you can guide us in that.
Basically, one important thing is, see, of course, we want to appreciate the devotees and not to make them, unnecessarily very proud. Like Prabhupada says, you should not be proud of your own service. The humility is the foundation. So, to handle such things, we need to teach the devotees the values of, there is an important statement in devotee care which we teach. Speak, a training is needed how to speak without offending and how to listen without defending. So it's a training again needed, and it is to be ongoing, thing for the caring communication. So non-violent communication, I call it a caring communication. So caring communication, they would need to be trained. Unless there is a training, and also we help them to imbibe the value system gradually. So by discussing about it, talking about it, that how that it is important to accept feedback on our own good. Rather, the corporates nowadays, they say, since feedback is sometimes bitter, they encourage feed forward. You ask for it, and it's acceptable. So we should have a system that, like your counseling and other, we have a system that we look forward to, the feedback which is called feed forward, so that we can improve ourselves, improve our service. Then we can have a system of it, anonymous. Okay, you are leading, so let some anonymous devotees on some questionnaire ask them to share room for improvement. So therefore we say, instead of feedback, it's not feed forward, I'm asking for it, and they should share in a way it's a room for improvement and not pointing out the fault. And the devotees also need to be trained that kind of how you should give the room for improvement in a non-hurting way. All this is part of caring communication from both the sides. Okay, Prabhu has a question. I'll come back to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to ask about training the skill of appreciation, because sometimes we find that appreciation is harder because it's kind of unnatural for us. Like we come from a Kali Yuga background, and fault finding is very easy for us. It's natural. Whereas appreciating, finding good qualities in others, fanning the spark, those things are unnatural for us. They're more difficult for us. So I just wanted to ask, what can we do to make appreciation something which is natural for us?
Okay, good. So I will just first of all say yes, I appreciate your question. It is a fact. Fault finding is quite natural, and therefore it is advised that we should see all the faults as superficial. The faults will go away very soon. Just like after prasadam, there is a queue to wash hands, and someone will point a fault. Oh, it's so dirty, unwashed hand. And so advise the person in the queue waiting to wash the hands. So why to point out the fault when the person will soon be clean again? So we are all in the process of Krishna consciousness. We all will, get rid of all the fault. The process is so powerful. Anyone who has come to Krishna consciousness is in the queue. We all are in the queue. So therefore the faults are, will go away soon by the process of bhakti itself. And therefore all the devotees ultimately, they will purify, and it's a journey basically. So therefore we understand, or we should be convinced that whatever faults I am seeing are superficial, therefore I should not take them seriously within my heart, though I may have to deal with them externally. So I have to deal with them practically, but not taking them too very seriously. That knowing that I just encourage and appreciate the fan the spark of bhakti, and the best way to deal with them is to, if there is too much of smoke, so how do we remove the smoke? Increase the fire. And when the wood is burning, there is too much smoke. If you can fan the spark and the fire ablaze, then the smoke naturally goes away. So our way to remove all the faults and deal with the faults is to somehow encourage them to progress in bhakti. So yes, so our way of detachment also is strong attachment to Krishna. It's necessarily doing detachment. Our main process is attachment, encouragement to devotees. And that will gradually, as their devotions are increasing, fault will go away, but yes, we have to deal with them, address them in a way to protect some devotees are getting affected, and in a Vaishnava way be able to properly train them how to accept, accept the room for improvement. So like that. And it is also important who gives the room for improvement. When do you give? Because even if you speak the right thing at a wrong time, in a wrong way, it doesn't have the right effect. Often, we may say the right thing, but I'm not the right person to speak. Is it the right time to speak? Is the right way to speak? So all those considerations are there. So we should understand the sensitivities involved, and thus try to appreciate people. And also, appreciation can be, look for, as I said, the good is, the good is within every soul is that is part and parcel. We are all part and parcel of absolute good. But ultimately, the good will prevail. Because the person has come to the right place, all the faults will go away and the good will prevail. So in this way, knowing this fact, we practice not taking the fault seriously, though dealing with it. And though we may not feel like we may not be able to see good, but we have to see some good and fan it, appreciate it, and then we can see the results. We can see the results. And make a conscious effort in this direction, and then we will grow individually in our devotional service and also collectively as a community by practicing these principles. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
One last one.
Yes.
Although we are in Yatra, but it's for everybody's most of the devotees might not know, but we've been noticed by JVC. They've actually asked Vijay Prabhu to provide some devotee care in Canberra Yatra.
Oh, okay. Extend the devotee care from here to Canberra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I'd like to mention on a lighter note, when I first started coming to Iscon, in his back, I got a letter from a devotee asking me to come to the temple Mangalarti program. And he wrote, in the end, your humble servant. I thought, oh, you're a humble servant temple. I went there, this devotee, and I sort of knew he was, but he didn't know me, that he invited me. So I went in, instead of, then it was a bit raining. They came running with umbrella. They opened my door, to take me inside. I was really feeling very happy, very appreciative of his service and his letter saying humble servant. So we came to my door, they opened my door. Why did you park it here? Should we park it here? He came to alert me to not to park where I parked the car. Sometimes, I would like to say that sometimes we, write letters, we say your humble servant. Do you really mean it? Do you really mean it? Only be careful when you say your humble servant or your insignificant servant. So, thank you. Any more questions?
Fine, so we conclude over here. Sorry, I cannot take your other questions. Yeah. Okay, so.
So you got the answer there.
Okay. Thank you.
No more question, then we're asked to thank you for being here. And for being here is a very important topic for all of us. As we said in our yatra, please see us before you leave us. The other thing we said is one thing. The other thing is that the yatra provides us opportunity to do service. So you should not seek any recognition for it. I'm trying to learn that actually. And also also the third point is that for all our yatra, everybody here is a devotee here. It's a whole group devotee here. And they are doing it. So it makes our way very easy. I am doing nothing to come out of job, to do all the same. So devotees have been going out to hospitals and seeing devotees have been out to one person was passing. Because the thing is, the point is that if somebody is suffering, sick, not well, when you go and see him, you can see read a slope from Bhagavad Gita, from section Prasadam, they will never forget that. But if you go when he's in party mood, doing parties and all that, who will forget that where he came, I don't know who came. But if somebody is suffering, you go and see them, provide some care, they'll never forget that.
Yes.
That's true that you notice that, right?
Yes.
So with those words, Prabhu, thank you very much for providing us a great and giving us some lessons on this. And surely most of our interested, most of all our interested actually to join the class, of course, come along, so you can to learn something. And thanks for giving us the class. Thank you very much. As I said, within, if everything goes well, within 2 years we'll be having this class and we can go.
Yeah, we can conduct the devotee care course in HKCC. In the conference room of HKCC.
Thank you very much. And also, all the devotees, thank you very much for coming here. So waiting there, on the time to come here. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And thank you, Paramantaji, for hosting us. I'm already feeling very hungry now, so thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. My honor and pleasure to be with all of you.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Jai.